Welcome everybody to another episode of Gorilla Gospel. And what we're going to get into on this part right here is the temp. All right. This is for those who can seriously challenge the words that be crossed into our language, so to speak. Like, for instance, Jeremiah was once spelled with an I. J's was in place back then. You dig? And there's a name for Jesus back when, but Jesus' name is for our times, for our pronunciations, and just for our language. But we all talking about the same dude. Period. Point blank. But when it comes to the tempter is different from all of us. Because there's a Jesus that's described, and then there is God who is described. How was God described? By a cloud. God was described by a voice, is what Adam said. I heard your voice coming through, the garden, so I hid. These are people and spirits that has been heard and seen through other people and things. God spoke through a bush, all that. But the tempter, which everybody think is the devil, this dude with horns and everything, that's a different story. So God has led me to the text of dealing with pointing this out to you, that it's not a dude with horns and a tail or whatever. Is that the devil is in the flesh. When we allow sin to get into us, which, we born in sin, but I'm saying, you know what I'm saying? When we let sin take us to another level of the sin that makes it evil, which makes us devils now. Which devil is just the word that was made up through the concept of evil. Because that's what God said in the garden. Look, man knows good and evil like us. Not man knows good and evil like the devil, Lucifer, or Satan. Okay, when God asked Adam, look, why did you do this? Adam blamed Eve. He asked Eve, why did you do this? Eve blamed the snake. When God looked at the snake, he ain't asked him who made him do this or anything like that. He just said, hey man, you know what? I shouldn't have trusted you, and he punished him. Right then and there. And the snake didn't say the devil made me do it, Lucifer or Satan. So let's go for it. We're going to go into Genesis, the first one. Here go the very first one. This is Genesis 6, verse 5. And it says this, y'all. It says, and God saw that the wickedness of man was great in the earth, and that every imagination of the thoughts of his heart was only evil continually. All right? The imagination, hold on to that word. Because now we're going to go into Genesis 11:6. And Genesis 11:6 says, and the Lord, 11:6. And the Lord said, behold, the people is one, and they have all one language. And this they begin to do. And now nothing will be restrained from them. Okay? Which they have imagined to do. Imagine. There go another word, okay? Now keep up, because we about to go into another one here. This is Proverbs 6:18. Proverbs 6:18 says, and heart that deceiveth, that device wicked imaginations, feet that be swift in running to mischief. Okay, now that imagination there just played a whole role in our three texts here. Which was 2 of Genesis. It was Genesis 5:6-5, Genesis 11:6, and then 3. The third one was Proverbs 6:18. But there's a bunch of situations about imaginations through the Bible. Imagination, bruh, will run wild. Imaginations will run good. Imaginations will run bad. But we're gonna take you over to a certain situation here. All right, and this is a deal where the tempter is our imaginations. How? Well, just imagine something for a second. Okay? Imagine if you clean up your house, what it would look like. Then you'll go and do it. Imagine how it would feel to go to work. Imagine what you can do with the money that you get from work, and then you'll go do it. Okay, so out of all that, we have Jesus. And this is where the devil plays a role in the word evil when it comes to the concept of what we do and what we become out of letting our imaginations, which is the tempter. The tempter is our imagination. When a snake told Eve she could do all this and everything, her imaginations ran wild. Then curiosity, that's our curiosity imagination. Okay, it says this. Then was Jesus led up of the Spirit into the wilderness to be tempted of the devil. But now if you take the D off of devil, you will get evil. Okay? And this is after 40 days and 40 nights of going without food and all that type of stuff. Now picture you're hungry. For all those days, bro, could you go eat? Could you go 1 day without eating? 3 days. And say you ain't got no money and you can't get no job. Your imagination is gonna run wild on how you can do this, right? So his first imagination was what the evil told him, but they said devil. They replaced it with devil, but really it's evil. It says to be tested of evil. Not the devil, but they put it as the devil, but they're really talking about just evil thoughts. Point blank. That is all they're talking about right there. Is evil, wicked thoughts. But you ain't got to believe me. Who am I, right? It's okay. You don't have to believe me. But at the same time, I'm going to tell you like this here. He said, turn it into bread. But what happened? He could have. But on his mission, he had to slowly go through his test in the wilderness of allowing God to just provide for him strength to carry on, to not be tempted. Why not be tempted of food? Well, a lot of us would sell God out for a steak dinner, just like Judas did. You know, I hate to keep ragging on him, but a lot of us would seriously, like, not eat at pantries and not eat the same thing over and over again. You will seriously sell out, and that's not your fault. That's in you to do that, but when it comes to preachers, they can't do stuff like that. The preachers, the people who get baptized and say they're going to preach this word, and when times get hard, which you're going to always be tested, that you go and sell God out for some bread. You start worshiping the devil, starting prostituting women or selling drugs or robbing somebody or just stealing and all that type of stuff. Just to get high and all that type of stuff. That's why. This was a test. This is a demonstration this man set for you. The second one is when it says, then the devil take him up into the holy city and seated him on a pinnacle of the temple. Now, most people imaginations ran wild with this, and they just think that some spiritual deal just carried him up to the top of the temple. No, his imagination did that, to where it would show that he would be over the church and everything with his preaching and everything, of knowing the spirit world and all that type of stuff, and get so much praise and stuff. And Jesus smited that too, because see, I'm not doing this on my own, is what he's saying. I got this power from God. Is when the dove, when the spirit descended from heaven like a dove on his shoulder. See, Jesus didn't have power to start performing miracles and all that type of stuff until after the spirit fell upon him from heaven. God put this power in him, and God said, "This is my son, which I am well pleased of." Okay? The third one was that he exceeded the mountains high and showed him all the kingdoms of the world and all that type of stuff. Now, which one of us don't think about ruling the world? Which one of us don't imagine how we could run the block? You heard me? We start worshiping evil. We start doing evil. That's the tempter, dude. Do we not get tempted when we sitting up in here in the dark? Check it out. We now in the dark. Do we not get tempted to go through something? You hear them crickets? I'm all alone here. You don't think I'm tempted? The tempter is always going to be with us. It's in us. It's in the sin. It's in the earth. But what's in your heart? See, what's in your head is different from what's in your heart. There's a good and evil in you. One is a brain. One is a heart. See, in the garden, you know what I'm saying? He said, look, man knows good and evil like us. We didn't know all that at first. We only had a heart to just love. We only had the heart. That's just like any kid that's growing up under their father's protection and their care. To just love their father and everything. Until they grow up around that temptation, that peer pressure, that imagination and all that type of stuff that we are now cursed with. That other people tells us this is what's going to happen if you do this, or if you read this, or if you know this. But let there be light. And let's shine some on the fact that, hey, bro, we not going to get it right. That's why he had to put his son on this earth. That man had to be put on this earth because guess what? He knew where he came from. He knew who the real God was. Like all of us did. But under the curse of Adam and Eve, we would get tempted fast. We would see that 9 cattail and be like, all right, I worship you. There's no God. We would go hungry those 40 days and be like, You know what, man? Check it out. This is why he sent this man. Because he knew his place up in heaven. And he knew that his pops would seriously crush him if he didn't carry out this. Now the time they say Jesus, the Holy Spirit, and God is the same person. But at the time when it was time for him to get captured by Judas ratting on him, why did he start praying to God? Was that him talking to himself right then and there? Or was that him talking to his pops? And it's not that he was crying because he was scared or anything. Jesus developed a relationship on this earth with the people he was loving on and everything. He had a moms, he had a brothers, and all that type of stuff. He didn't want to leave us, bruh. He didn't. But that's guerrilla gospel, bruh. For a lot of you people that's out there, man, and you got so much Bible thumper in you, bruh, but what are you using that knowledge for, bruh? To hurt or to help? But if you can't take in consideration people who ain't never went to school and got some realistic stuff on it, and you don't want to, you don't want to accept it, then you don't want to accept him. Next Guerrilla Gospel 1.